Happy Sunday, my friends. It's time. It's time to start thinking different. It's time to start talking different because we want different results than what we're producing. So today we're going to talk about the power of your words. And while I'm on this I am thing so hard. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to play a song off the Gangsta Mentality. And remember, the Gangsta Mentality is an album that is actually a message to the soul. It's meant to feed the soul. It's not for entertainment. It's meant to plant positive seeds in your mind. And that's why I want you to listen to this album when you wake up in the morning or before you go to sleep at night. Because what you listen to when you first wake up, and when you're going to sleep at night, it can get implanted deep into the subconscious mind. So that's the reason I give you this gangster mentality, and each one of these words is meant to be a seed that you just plant and it'll grow after its time. So I'm going to throw on this song, The Time Is Now, and I want you to understand with the consciousness that the time is now for us to start thinking different and for us to start talking different. So as you listen to this song, this is the mindset and the consciousness. Think you have more time than you do.
Time is the only commodity that we can't make more of. You can always make more money.
But guess what?
But you
can't make more time.
When it's gone,
then it's gone.
So we have to make the best use of time. We all get the same 24 hours in a day.
The question is,
what are you doing with your
time?
The time is now.
The time is now. The time is now. Some of your life is ticking away. The time is now. The time is now. The time is now. Some of your life is ticking away.
Remember, time waits for no man.
What up, Bree?
The world don't stop turning.
So we can't stop.
So we can't stop working. You can't turn back the hands once it's gone. You have to learn to live with the regrets. What you should have did.
And what you could have did. But guess what?
But you can't get the time back. Like they say, time is not running out. But
So your time is.
You can't stop the clock. All you can do is try to make the best use of the time. The time is now. No opportunities wasted. And the older you get,
the faster it goes.
The time is now.
The time is now. The time is now. Some of your life is ticking away. The time is now. The time is now. The time is now. Some of your life is ticking away.
The time is now. The time is now. The time is now. Some of your life is ticking away. The time is now. The time is now. The time is now. Some of your life is ticking away. The time is now. We gotta go. The goals, the dreams, they not gonna wait for you. You gotta get up and get it.
Hi.
It's coming to you. That's why you gotta have that
Gangsta mentality.
Don't sit around and want it. Make better use of that time. We gotta keep growing. No regrets. The time is now. Stop waiting around for things to happen and make it happen. We all crave more time, but we gotta make better use of the time we have. Every minute you waste is a minute you can't get back. It's ticking away. You get to the end of your life, and you like, where did the time go?
You wasted it.
The time is now. The time is now. The time is now.
Some of your life is ticking away.
The time is now. The time is now. The time is now.
Some of your life is ticking away.
The time is now.
The time is now. The time is now. Some of your life is ticking away.
The time is now.
The time is now.
The time is now.
Some of your life is ticking away.
There are so many distractions in the world we live in. Social media, smartphones, so much information at our fingertip, emails, text message. You really have to draw the line in the sand with your time. Where are you going to give your energy and your focus? Time is the greatest resource we have, and also the most limited. We have to be very careful with our time. It's easy to lose it, and it's easy to waste it. But remember, when the time is gone, we can't get it back.
So that's The Time Is Now off the album Gangsta Mentality. And I highly suggest you listen to that. I highly suggest if you got small children that you play this music for them so you can plant these seeds into their mind. Especially the children that are under the age of 7. Their subconscious mind is still in that theta state. So you can plant those seeds. And when you speak to them, you actually giving them commands. So understand this so you can plant the kind of seeds in the children that we want them to have. Because remember, worlds are created by words. So often we just take our words for granted and we speak and we say anything, but not understanding how powerful our words are. And I'm not religious or anything, but it's funny that no matter what religion you're looking at or ancient wisdom, they all talk about the power of the words. And they told us in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and and the Word became God. And God is just a creator. So all they was telling you is that your words actually create. And it was very simple, but we want it to be so complex. The gift that we have is of speaking and thinking. So we got to use those two gifts if we really want to change our plot in life. So remember, the words that you speak, they actually change the biochemistry of your brain. Meaning, when you speak a positive word, then your brain facilitates the release of, let's say, oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine. All of these type of hormones that will actually uplift the immune system. But when you're negative, when you feel threatened, when you feel scared, and you speak these words, it's a threat to the brain. And when the brain is threatened, it releases cortisol. And so you begin to get all of this cortisol in your body, which leads to inflammation, which leads to so many other health ailments. So the Buddha said every person is the author of his or her own health. And nothing could be more truer than that. Every person is the author of his or her own health by the way you think, because you're constantly thinking. And as you're thinking, you're facilitating the release of these hormones into your body. The question is, what are you thinking about? So this week, our consciousness is, I want to pay attention to what I'm saying. And I want to pay attention to what I'm saying and how it's manifesting in my life. Because the more I can pay attention to these words and become conscious of what I'm thinking about, the more I can use the right words and the more I can use the power of the word to help me change my situation. So I want to do a meditation out of my book. And I just lost my page. You should bear with me. Sorry. Let me find my page back. So I want to do this meditation to set the consciousness, for the week. And speaking the right words. Okay, here we go. I found it. Sorry about that. Speaking the right words. So ask yourself, are you speaking the right words? What are you really saying? And not only to other people, what are you saying to yourself about yourself? Because there's a scripture that say, ye are all gods, sons of the Most High. And when you tell a person, if you say, well, I'm a God, this and that, they look at you like it's blasphemy. Or they say, well, of course you didn't create the heavens and the earth and all of that. No, but what you did do is create the world that you're living in. And if you want to go deeper, look at it like this. The human being is actually made up of cells. These cells are actually alive, okay? And the cells make up the totality of who you are. So you might look at yourself as just like one being, but you're actually made up of trillions of live cells. These cells take commands from you. So when you speak, you are God to these cells in your body. So what I do is in the morning or maybe before I get ready to work out, then I talk to my cells. I talk to my body. Listen, we're going to go through this workout. This is what I need you all to do. I talked about how appreciative I am of all of my organs. Put my hand on my heart. I appreciate you beating every day, pumping this blood through my body. Like the cells in your body are alive. So speak life. And that's what the scripture said. Let the weak say, I am strong. Even if you weak right now at this moment, if you go ahead and say I'm strong, then in the future, you can get strong and you can start that process by the power of your thoughts, by the power of your words. But understand, we're constantly thinking and we're constantly talking. So now you have to become conscious of what you're thinking about and what you're talking about. So my book, 72 Names of God, I highly recommend it. So we got a meditation that says speaking the right words. Okay, speaking the right words. So here we go. Speaking the right words. Did you ever say something you deeply regretted and found yourself paying for it dearly many years later? Words can wound others, but they can also imbue us with blessings and transform our very reality. And I can tell you like this, me personally, right? I have said things that I didn't really mean when I was upset, but guess what? Those things came true. So now it makes so much sense when the scripture talks so much about do not speak when you're angry. Do not say anything upset. Do not say anything when you're upset, because what you don't realize is that you're going to create that in your life, because the same power that creates the good actually creates the bad. And that's why it says, I kill, I heal, I wound, I make alive, and none can deliver out of my hands. So it's not two powers, it's only one power. The question is, how are you connecting to that power? So here we go. Words have power. They ignite spiritual forces that influence the events and circumstances of our lives. For instance, Kabbalah says slanderous gossip actually increases airborne disease in our world. Defaming a person's character absolutely inflicts spiritual and physical harm against the intended victim and upon the person voicing the words. However, because of free will, these choices are concealed from our rational mind by an innate egotistical narrow-mindedness towards anything metaphysical. Thus, it is easy for us to disregard and dismiss the power of the influence of spoken word and along with it, responsibility. See, that's the biggest thing. We don't want to take responsibility. We don't want to take responsibilities for our words, for our actions, for how we feel. We want to constantly blame it on somebody else. Well, they made me feel a certain way, so I said this. They did something to me, so I did this. So what you're actually saying is, I just give all my power to the outside external forces and I let them control me instead of me doing what it said, as within, so without. I feel good no matter what's going on in the world. Then I have to decide how I want to feel and how I want to speak regardless. So we got to take responsibility. Our words either emerge from the ego or from the light. When we allow the light to talk on our behalf, our speech fills others with hope, blessings, love, and inspiration. According to Kabbalah, we came into this world with a predetermined number of negative words that we're allowed to utter. When this atonement is used up, death overcomes us. Imagine if we spoke only positive words of light. Silence your ego. Push the mute button. Now call upon the light to speak on your behalf on all occasions so that every word elevates your soul and all existence. So basically, like they told us when we was little, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. And that was all for you. And the scriptures was all a message to you. Everything was to you to help you understand how to live in this world. And it's a spiritual world. We look at everything on the physical side, but not understanding that everything we see came from the invisible. No matter what it is. This phone that I'm using, the computer, this book, everything was an idea in somebody's mind first. So for me, I say, let's go to the root cause, which is the mind. And that's why the scripture told us stand guard at the doorway of your mind. Because when you look at things, when you listen to things, when you talk about things, all of these things are affecting you and they're creating the world that you live in. But don't worry, your boy HK got you. I'm going to give you the game how it go, okay? I told you we're going to take this ancient wisdom and we're going to give it to the people. But we got to be active in what we're doing. We can't just think that things are going to just happen for us and we don't take responsibility. It's just like if you're going to you want to get in shape. You got to actually go to the gym. You got to actually put in the time. You got to start eating better, drinking more water, going to sleep. The same thing with this right here. You got to actually put in the time. You got to watch what you say. And the thing is, when you become conscious, you're going to say some things and you're like, oops, why did I say that? But the good thing is you're starting to pay attention because you can't change anything that you're not aware of. So what I'm trying to do is basically just create awareness. You know, life is simple, but they have made it so complex for us. And anything that's complex, I say it's the snake. Okay, you know that snake they talked about throughout history? See, that snake is very complex, right? And the snake can't go from in a straight line. The snake has to go like this. So it's complex. So anything that's complex, leave it alone. It's got to be simple. So love and speaking the right words. So the meditation goes like this. I silence my ego and restrict. I will not defame others, gossip, or say hurtful things. I am quiet as I connect to the light and allow the divine to be my guide, to speak through me. As a channel for light, I speak words of light, love, hope, and positive energy. My words will elevate my soul and the souls of others instead of bringing me and others down. So think about it. And they told us, do not judge. But what do? We see people, we automatically form opinions of these people, of what they do, of what they wear, of all of this stuff, but not understanding that we the only thinker in our world. And every time we think, stuff happens in our brain, not their brain. Every time you think, two neurons got to connect and you create a neural pathway. You create a neural pathway every time. So you're the only thinker in your world. So when you think negative about somebody else, when you think bad about somebody else, when you sit around and talk about other people, you're really only hurting yourself. You're definitely hurting yourself. And the person that you're talking about, they will get some of that negative energy also. So what we want to do, if we really want to change the world, we can begin with our words. All of us can begin to speak different and to talk different. So many times in the scripture, what did it tell us? Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Those who love to talk will eat its fruits. Why did it say eat its fruits? Because you're producing something every time you talk. So it doesn't matter what you say. You're going to have to pay the consequences for those things that you actually said. What else did it say? Pleasant words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. And that's science. That's science, because just like we said, when you speak words of love and compassion, you get oxytocin, you get serotonin, you get dopamine. They actually help heal the body. It actually helps heal the body. So when I look at the scriptures, I look at it from that standpoint. I'll be like, wow, it was genius when you really understand how to read it. Anxiety weighs down the heart of a man, but a good word cheers it up. A good word cheers it up. Why? Because right there, you're getting serotonin, you're getting dopamine, you're getting oxytocin, you're getting things that are going to actually uplift the immune system. The power of the tongue is life and death. Those who love to talk will eat what it produces. Kabbalah says this. Kabbalah says every time we speak, we create positive and negative angels. When we speak positive words, we get positive angels. We speak negative, we get negative angels. So that's what Kabbalah says. What I just read was from the Bible, and these scriptures right here say the same thing. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. Also, the Buddha said every person is the author of his or her own health. So they're all telling us the exact same thing. But what do? Not listen. What do? Talk about what we want to talk about, when we want to talk about it, and think that we don't have to pay any consequences of these words. Again. And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thought on what is true, honorable, and right, pure, lovely, and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. But what do? We talk about celebrities, who they're sleeping with, everything that's going on in the world. But we got to begin to use that power, and that power that we have to speak, to begin to speak life. And that's the whole reason why I wear the shirt I am. No matter what, if I say I'm a black man, I'm American, all of these things, I am comes before that. So anything you say after I am, you can condition it and make it smaller. But I am is the same for all of us. And I am just means that I'm here. It's my sense of awareness. I am means my consciousness. So, that we can go back to the Old Testament, just like all of this stuff the same. In the Old Testament, what it says, I am the Lord thy God that have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. But we're not talking about a country, nowhere. When we talk about Egypt, from the Bible terms, we're actually talking about the ego. We're actually talking about anything that has you in bondage. You could be in bondage to your gambling, to sex, to money, whatever it is that you're in bondage to. I brought you out of the house of bondage, and thou shalt put no gods before me. Right? He said, come thee that I may send you to Pharaoh. Who is Pharaoh? He's a slave master. So we're all in some point of slavery, because we're enslaved to our thinking. We're enslaved to our jobs. We're enslaved, to our money. We're enslaved to other people in perception of us. So since Pharaoh was the biggest slave master, that's why we say, I send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring forth my people, the children of Israel. And we talk about the children of Israel, we're talking about consciousness. We're talking about the soul. We're talking about everybody that actually knows the soul is the true essence of who I am. Brought the children of Israel out of Egypt. And Moses said, who am I that I should go to the children of Israel? They should ask me, the God of your fathers has sent me. What is his name? And this is the most important thing. He said, I am that I am. Therefore, you tell the children of Israel, I am has sent me unto you. And this is my memorial for all generations. So we all can use the power of I am. And that's why I want to put this here. And, when I do the music, when I do the words, everything I'm doing is trying to make you conscious of what you've been thinking about. And it's real simple. So remember, abracadabra, I create what I speak. You're constantly creating because you're constantly talking. The question is, what are you creating? That's the real question. So listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play another song off of this Gangsta Mentality album. This song is called Dirt Road to Rodeo. And I want you to actually listen to the words, because again, anything I'm doing, we're not talking about the physical aspect of it. You got a physical body, and then your body are made up of cells. These cells are made up of atoms, and atoms are made up of energy. So by definition, you're 99% energy. So when I speak, I'm speaking from a place of the energy. Okay. So the words, they have energy. And that's what we're speaking from. So I'm going to play the song Dirt Road to Rodeo, because what you got to do is go from thinking like having that human consciousness to having that God consciousness, that Christ consciousness, whatever you want to call it, but the consciousness of unity, of oneness, and all the stuff that we see going on in the world right now. It's time that humanity as a whole begin to wake up and start to think different so we can shift the paradigm of where we're going. But we can't change anything if we don't change our thinking, because the thought precedes the action. So instead of focusing on the action, what we got to do right now is get back to the thoughts. And I know a lot of people be like, just the thoughts. It's abstract. I want to do something else. I want to go out there and I want to fix something and I want to do something. But you can't fix and do anything until you fix your mind and get your thoughts right. So when I'm throwing this song Dirt Road to Rodeo, I want you to understand that life is a journey and you're constantly going somewhere. And even if you reach every goal that you have in life right now, when you get there, it's not over. You're going to want more. Your desire is going to keep growing. So you're going to be in a constant state of change where you're always growing. Hence, Dirt Road to Rodeo, because you're always becoming something more. So like I said, this is not about the physical journey of going from Eastern North Carolina, to LA. That's not the point. The point is the mental journey that you have to go through. I had to stop thinking like a victim before I could change anything. And that's what the Dirt Road to Rodeo is all about. It's about going from that caterpillar to the butterfly and becoming somebody totally different, because nothing stays the same. So I'm going to throw on this song Dirt Road to Rodeo for you real quick. And I want you to have that consciousness in mind that, listen, I got to change. I got to change what I've been talking about. I got to change how I think about myself. I got to change how I view myself. I got to change how I view the world. I got to change how I view my relationship to the world. So each one of us can be the change that we wish to see. Instead of talking about what's going on in the world and how bad it is, then we can start to do something different. So Dirt Road to Rodeo is that paradigm shift that we all want to have. We want to go from the dirt road to rodeo in our mind, always. All right, where we at? Here we go. From the dirt road to rodeo, out the mud, self-made. And guess what? I spoke it into existence. We was listen, y'all. How many of y'all remember that show Beverly Hillbillies? Old Jed struck oil, moved the family out to Beverly Hills. They was having it their way. So we was watching that show one time we was little, and I said, I'm gonna move to Beverly Hills one day. My little brother and them looked at me like, how you gonna get to Beverly Hills? Because hell, we don't even have money for food right now, and you talking about Beverly Hills. And guess what I said? I think my way there. And I became obsessed about it. So when I say Dirt Road to Rodeo, it's not about, it's because I had a dream as a child and I didn't know how it was going to come true. But I had the faith that it was going to come true, and I stuck to my guns and I talked my way right into it. I spoke it into existence. So anybody that know me will tell you, no matter what environment I was in, I always spoke different. So some people couldn't understand it. Oh, he think he this or he think he that. But no, they don't understand. I didn't have nothing but the power of my words, and I was trying to will it to be. I was trying to speak it into existence. Okay? So when this Dirt Road to Rodeo and I'm here now, I'm like, okay, this thing is real. I study this. I didn't have anything to lose. And I watch people and I watch the stuff they say and I watch the results they got in their life. And I was able to equate what they were saying with the results they was producing. So I always try to speak different. And anybody close to me don't know that I don't always get it right. I still get upset. I still get angry. I still say things that I don't mean, that I don't want to happen, but I'm able to catch myself. And then I'm able to think, now hold on. If you go down that path, you're going to have to eat what it produces. So that's totally up to you, if that's what you want to do. So this song, Dirt Road to Rodeo, it's a true story. It's a real story. And it made me dream. And I had to go within because there was nothing out there that I could do. I didn't have a father. I didn't have no uncles. I didn't have nobody that I can call on and that can help me out. So I had to invoke the only power it is. So now when I read the scriptures, I read it from a totally different standpoint, because I'm one who disregarded it. Oh, that ain't true. They trying to control us and all of this and that, but I didn't understand how to read what I was reading. But here we go, Dirt Road to Rodeo.
Boy, I grew up picking blueberries, $1.50 a bucket. Single
mom in a house with no running water. We all got a dirt road. As a child, I was scarred. That's why I go so hard. Let's do it. Guess what? Hey, Dirt Road,
Did it all without yayo.
we ain't doing no time, young boy.
Using his mind. Dirt road to rodeo. 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 Did it all without yayo. We ain't doing no time. Young boy
Using his mind. Started dirt poor, never had a dime.
No food in the house.
I only had my mind. I'm from the bottom of the borough. Brother doing time, being poor around here is the #1 crime. Out the mud for real, so I stayed on my grind. School by the streets, I took an oath I never tell. Guess what? Manifesting.
Like a wizard with a spell.
HK the educator, knowledge for your soul. Mess around with me, we turning.
Dirt in the gold.
Dirt road to rodeo, did it all without yayo. We ain't doing no time, young boy using his mind. Dirt road to rodeo,
Did it all without yayo. We ain't doing no time.
young boy using his mind.
Dirt road to rodeo.
Dirt road to rodeo, dirt road to rodeo,
Dirt road to rodeo.
dirt road to rodeo. Did it all without yayo. We ain't doing no time, young boy using his mind.
Since a young boy had the streets on lock, never knew my dad had to be my pops. I'm here now, ain't nothing they can do.
What up, Pooh?
From my little brother Pooh.
Shot in the head
At the age of 13,
before his time.
serving things.
I'm gonna win, cause he can't lose. My daddy left, he chose the booze.
He rather drink than raise his sons. Now we all lost with drugs and guns.
By the grace of God, they didn't get me. Rid of my car with shots. No bullets hit me.
I'm still here. Dirt road to rodeo.
Did it all.
Without yayo. We ain't doing no time. Young boy using his mind. Dirt road to rodeo.
Did it all.
Without yayo.
We ain't doing no time. Young boy using his mind. Dirt road,
To rodeo.
dirt road,
To rodeo. Dirt road to rodeo. Dirt road to rodeo. Dirt road to rodeo. Did it all without yayo.
we ain't doing no time.
Young boy using his mind. Move to Beverly Hills and
Put myself on the map.
all I kick is truth. All my words, no cap. Hold your applause.
I need no props.
My team stay ready. We ain't thinking about the ops.
I do what I want. I never ask permission. Battling HK.
You in a messed up position.
Play the game how it go.
You could never catch me frontin'.
I am having something out of nothing.
Yeah, dirt road to rodeo. Did it all without yayo. We ain't doing no time. Young boy using his mind.
Dirt road,
To rodeo. Did it all without yayo. We ain't doing no time. Young boy using his mind. Dirt road to rodeo.
dirt road to rodeo,
Dirt road to rodeo. Dirt road to rodeo.
dirt road to rodeo. Did it all without yayo. We ain't doing no time.
Young boy using his mind.
Hey, simply put, watch your words. Watch your mouth. Just like they told us when we were small. You don't have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. Because basically, you're going to harm yourself. Okay? So, I love the Proverbs, right? And so this one Proverbs say, Proverbs 14:29 says, those who controls their anger will have great understanding. Those with a hasty temper will make mistakes. And I love that, right? Because think about it. So, cause we go right back to science and we understand that when we get angry, we actually shut down the top part of our brain, which is the neocortex, which is the part, this is human brain, which deals with reasoning and thinking and understanding. And if you ever notice, when you get upset, you don't make really good decisions. This is the reason why. All of this right here is science. So when you start looking at this is how it relates to you, it will always begin to make sense, and it will start to help you to change the way you look at things and change the way that you speak about yourself and about other people, the conversations that you have with yourself. All of these things are creating the world that you're living in. So if you want to change your world, change your words. And it's really simple. Okay. So I'm not going to talk you all to death. I hope you have a great day. Set your intentions for this week. And this week right here, our only job is to watch our words. Think about what we be thinking about. When we start having those conversations with ourselves and you know, you start hearing those voices and you're not good enough and this ain't going to work out. You have to, like Les Brown said, sometimes you have to stand up to yourself inside yourself. So that's first and foremost. And that's one reason why we want to invoke the power of gratitude, right? Because we want to stop and we want to consciously direct our thoughts and our words. Because if we're on autopilot, then the brain job is to keep you alive, right? So the brain is constantly looking for threats and it's looking for negativity. And that's one reason why you can spot negativity in this world so much, because the brain is actually looking for it. See, your positivity is not a threat to your survival. So therefore, the positivity, you have to go 2 or 3 times as hard on your positivity as you do the negativity, because of the type of person, because of the beings that we are. We still have a brain that we had a couple 100,000 years ago. And the main job of this brain is to keep us alive. It's to keep us to counteract these threats. But our survival is not threatened no more. So we got to understand that. And what we got to do is begin to use our brain and don't let our brain use us. Okay, so the best thing you can do is consciously use the power of gratitude. When you wake up in the morning, go ahead and set your intentions. I know you heard it all before. It might sound cliche, but it works. It's actually true. You have to set your intentions. And just like I was saying, this universe is voice activated. Just like we could tell Siri, to do all of these things for us. You can tell the universe to do the things that you actually want done. You can actually speak it to the universe. Okay, so speak only on what you want. And remember, when you speak about yourself, you actually providing a destination for the universe. It's just like the waves. It can take you where you want to go. Your words can take you where you want to go, but you got to become conscious of these words. And you got to make sure that you listen, you understand the power of your words. So just speak life, just speak positivity. And I know it sounds simple, but that's the beginning right there. So I hope you all have a great day. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. I see you next week. And remember, I am. You are the creator in your life. You are the creator of your movie. So make sure you speak life, not only over yourself, but over your family, over your friends, and over the entire world. Okay, let's all be the change that we wish to see. I love you. Have a great week. And I'm rooting for you. Peace.